Hey, I'm solving a Quadruples and German Whispers gas by Philip Newman. This was just pulled out of testing, so it doesn't have a title or author or rules written yet. Those will be in the link under this video once it's published, so you'll be able to click on that and see them for yourself, and I'll also tell you in this video right now what they are. So, quadruples, well, first of all, normal Sudoku rules apply here, meaning that we're going to place the digits 1 through 9 exactly once each in each row, column, and 3 by 3 outlined region. We also have quadruples. That means that digits in a white circle have to appear somewhere in the 4 cells immediately surrounding that circle. So for example, there has to be at least one 5 in these 4 cells surrounding the 5 dot. There have to be a 2 and an 8 somewhere in these 4 cells, and these 4 cells have to contain 2, 3, 4, and 8, and those are the only digits that there's room for since we can only fit 4 digits in there. German whispers are the green lines, and what that means is that 2 digits that are adjacent to each other along a green line have to have a difference of at least 5. So for example, along a green line, we could place 4 and 9 next to each other, if that didn't break a bunch of other rules, but we could not place 4 and 8 next to each other because their difference is only 4. So let's get started. So one thing to appreciate is that there are a lot of 5s in my quadruple circles. And if I try to place those along a German whisper line, I'm going to have some difficulties because there is no valid Sudoku digit that has a difference of at least 5 away from the number 5. If we go down by 5, we hit 0. If we go up by 5, we hit 10. So in short, a 5 cannot go on a German whispers line at any time. And because this quad covers almost entirely a German whisper, the only place we can put the 5 is there. Similarly here, we're going to need to place our 5 there. Here, we have to put a 5 there. We have to put a 5 there. I think, nope, those aren't all my 5s. There's another 5. So a lot of 5s. So now let's consider the remainder of these quads that heavily overlap these whispers lines. So I have a 3, 4, and 9 to place. And I want to look at these and establish which of those can go in the middle. In other words, which of those 3 digits has a difference of 5 or more from both of the other ones. And the answer is 9. And in fact, German whisper lines always alternate between high and low, high and low. So if we have 1 high digit and 2 low digits, then you know that the high digit is going to be the one in the middle and vice versa. This has to be a low digit. It has to be at least 5 away from 9. It can't be 3 or 4, so it must be 1 or 2. Here we could place a 3 or 4 because it's not in the same region. So this could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, let's look at this quad because we'll be able to use the same trick here. We have 2, 8, and 9, so the low one of those is going to be in the center. Now this digit has to be at least 5 away from 2, so it has to be 7, 8, or 9, but we already have an 8 and 9 in the region, so that is exactly 7. This can be 7, 8, or 9. Now if we look at these, this one seems a little bit trickier. So these cells are going to contain 2, 3, 4, and 8. And the first thing I notice about those numbers is that 3 of them are low and 1 is high. And as I said a minute ago, German whispers, one kind of heuristic you can use to solve them is to remember that they always alternate high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low along the line. So because I have only 1 high digit, that's going to have to be in the middle along this line. And it has to be surrounded by 2 low digits. However, 4 is not low enough because the difference between 8 and 4 is only 4. So that has to be a 2, 3 pair, and my 4 is going to be there. That gives me a 3 and a 4 here, and tells me that this is going to be a 1 or 2. But I can actually go further because there's a 3 in this row, making this a 2, and that's now a 1. Careful, this is not necessarily a 2 because these don't have to be different. So we'll leave that for now. Alright, I also need to place a digit that's 5 away from 8 here, so I'm going to place a 1, that's my only remaining low digit. And 5 in this region can't go in those cells, so it goes here. And actually now I can tell that this is a 2 because there's a 1 now looking at it. This has to be a 1, 2, or 3, and can't be a 2 because of the 2 there. So to place a 6 around this quad, I can only put it in that cell. Alright, let's see if we can do something similar with this bottom right region quad. 1, 2, 6, and 9. So these cells can't be 1 or 6 because of the 1 and 6 I've placed already, and so these ones cannot be 2 or 9. So if this was a 2, It would have to be surrounded by 2 high digits, which would make this a 6. Unfortunately, 2 and 6 are not different enough to be next to each other on a German whisper, so this can't be a 2. This must be a 9 surrounded by low digits. This also has to be a low digit. 3 and 4 are the only ones remaining. And this has to be a low digit, 2, 3, or 4. The 9 makes this an 8, which makes this a 9. And this 6 sees almost all of the cells in the bottom left region, except for this one, so we're going to place the 6 there. The digits I still need here are 1, 3, and 4. So that's not a 3 and that's not a 4. The digits I still need here are 1, 6, 7, and 8. And I see that I have 2 of those digits, 1 and 8, in row 3 already, so I can eliminate them from those positions. So that's a 6, 7 pair, making these digits 1 and 8. The 1 makes that an 8, and that is a 1, so this cannot be a 1. This is looking fairly tight at this point. These have to be 6 and 7. I can't tell which way around those go yet. And here I need a 4 and a 9, and again, can't quite tell how they go. This cell can't be a 1, so it's now a 3. And here I need... Let's leave that for now, because I don't see a way I can easily resolve any more of that right now. Alright, so I need a 6, 7, and 9 in this region. I have a 6 and 9 here, so that is a 7. And I have a 6 here, making this a 9, and this is now a 6. These cells contain 2, 3, and 8. And I have to do something with with this region. So I need to place a 7. So I need to place a 7 in one of those cells, because it can't go there, thanks to that 7. I need to place a 3 and a 4. Oh, okay, so 3 and 4, where do they go in this region? They can't go in these 3 cells, thanks to the 3 and 4 at the top of the column. So this is a 3, 4 pair. And the 3 sees this one, actually, so that's now a 3. So I do know what these 3 cells are. They are 5, 7, and 8. This one cannot be 5 or 8, therefore it is 7. And I'm going to mark this as a 5, 8 pair. I think we have no choice but to focus on this middle area now. So, what have we got? So I know that the middle digit, whatever it is adjacent to 4 other digits on the German whisper. So there are only 2 digits that are 5 different from 4 other digits. There's 1, which is far enough away from 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it could be a 1 surrounded by 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's also 9, which is 5 plus away from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it could be a 9 surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is either a 1 or a 9. I don't see that revealing itself yet. Maybe I'll do some more Sudoku over here first. So this is 4 and 8, and these digits are 5 and 7. And this 5 makes this a 7. And the 7 sees almost every cell in this quad. This can't be a 7 because 7 can't go in the middle of this cross shape. 7 can no longer go there or there, so this is a 7, and that tells me this is a 1. So I have high digits here, 6, 8, and 9. Now, this can't be a 6 by Sudoku. It also can't be a 9 because the 9 has to be in this quad. So 9 can't be over here. This is now an 8. I need to place a 2, a 3, and a 4 here. Oh, my 7 also makes this a 9, which makes this a 6, and makes that a 9. That 6 makes this a 7, and a 6. Let's see what else we have. So I have a 2, 3, 4 triple. I'm not sure if you have to see that as a triple to continue at this point, but that's what I saw. So let's make this an 8. It can't be a 2 or 3 since 2, 3, and 4 are accounted for already. Now this is going to be 6 and 7, and I know the order. These are going to be 1, 5, and 8. Those are my remaining digits. I have a 1 and 8 in this column, which makes this a 5, and everything is now resolved there. And these cells are going to be 8 and 9. I have an 8 in this column, so that is a 9. The 9 makes this a 4, giving me a 2, 3 pair. I have to fulfill my 4 quad at some point. There's only one place left where I can put a 4. It's right there. I also have to I have a 4 quad here, so I have to place a 4 there, 2 there, 3 there. That 4 makes this an 8 and makes this a 4. The 2 makes this a 3 and a 2. And that's all taken care of. Let's do a bit more Sudoku to finish this up. So these cells contain 1, 2, and 9. I have a 1 and 9 here, making this a 2. I have a 9 here in this row, making this a 1, and that's going to be my 9 in this region. The only remaining digit there is a 2. These are going to be 3, 6, and 8. So that's a 3, 8 pair. The 6 makes this a 7. I have an 8 here, which makes this a 3. Got 1 or 3 here. There's a 3 there, so that's a 1. And this is a 4 and a 7. And that is how you solve Philip's German Whisper Quadruples puzzle.